Sucker on the beat.
Another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Man, woman, and children. Sun, moon, and stars. Everything exists has to coexist within. Like I said, another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? Great people, top of the day. I appreciate y'all. Last night I did a late night live, and it was a couple of more things pertaining to that live that I didn't finish. So I said today I'm going to do the late night live / afternoon part 2 because we got a bunch of things that we got to talk about. I got some good news, some wonderful news, and some heartfelt news, especially when it's coming to love. I got a couple up here. Y'all. It's been married 82 years. 82 years. That shit may be heard of. Ain't nobody in here 82 years. Ain't nobody in here 82 years old, y'all. Ain't nobody in here 82 years old. But I felt as though I wanted to start this show off with a little comedy. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to start the show off with a little bit of comedy because I want to know something. Ladies, if your man, ex-girlfriend, passed away, would you be upset if he was crying? Would you be upset if he was mourning? Yo, fellas, would you be upset if your lady, ex-man, passed away? You know what I'm saying? And she was upset and she was crying and she was mourning him. Would you be upset with that? I want y'all to check something out, man. Let's go.
Mama, I know.
Yeah, YouTube usage, y'all.
I know he loved me. I loved him too.
What's wrong with you?
Oh, I just can't believe he's gone. It's just hard to believe.
What's wrong with you?
And Mama call you back, okay? I'm gonna call you back. All right. Thank you. Bye.
What's wrong?
You know, it's just so much stuff going on. Like,
What's wrong?
like everybody is like passing away.
Who died?
Like, I just can't believe this. I'm just really shocked.
What happened to him?
You
What
know,
happened to him?
You remember when me and you first met? Remember I told you the dude I had just broke up with. And you know, me and you, we were back and forth. We didn't know we're gonna be together now. It wasn't even really serious at the beginning, but you know, the dude I kept going back and forth with.
Yeah.
When you got into it with on the phone that time.
Yeah, it's dude.
Mama, passed away.
What the hell you crying for then?
And I'm just like, I'm so hurt right now. Like, I can't.
What the hell you heard about?
Because I knew he loved me. And
I don't give a damn if you did love.
Like,
They ain't got nothing to do with you crying. What she calling telling you for?
Because his mama called her.
What the hell is mama calling telling for? We tell her we don't care. Tell her we don't care.
That he would want me to know. Like,
how the hell would he want you to know? Look how many years that was.
But still though, like,
but still, now you said a real damn tears. Then your mama calling you, telling you about it.
My whole day. I don't even.
I tell you what, you better suck them damn tears up right now.
I don't even want to.
You damn right, you could do more than eat.
And we had been together. I mean, it wasn't as long as me and you been together, but like me,
I don't give a damn.
For a while.
Y'all must still have something going on. But you still you crying?
No, I didn't have nothing.
I mean, you did. You still been crying?
I just can't even believe it. I can't even.
Then I can get your mama calling telling you about it. Is she crying too?
She upset. Like, she's so upset.
You
like,
tell she ain't let me come back her damn house no more.
She was hollering and everything in the background. And like I told her, like,
now y'all still got some stuff going on. Your mama still talking to him. You doing all you gotta be doing other stuff with him.
Talking to him like she just. I mean, it was what me and him had was special. Like, it was a special kind of love. It's different from me.
It's inside me. You need to go back with him. You need to go where he at.
Like, me and him was a little deeper than me and you. I just can't believe this right now. Like he really gone.
But hey, man.
He really gone. Like, his love, it was more deeper than what me and you got. Like, I love you, but I mean, I love.
No, you ain't gotta love me. I don't need you to love me.
It's a different.
I'm straight. I don't need you to love me. You want me to drop you over there with his mama at?
And you know he had proposed.
Want me to drop you over there with his mama at?
And I feel bad.
Want me to drop you off over there with his mama at? You want me to drop you over there with the family at?
No.
You need to go over there. Outside of me, you want to be over there.
No, I'm saying like now, you know how like when you like that.
I don't give a damn. I don't care. I don't want to hear about all that. I don't give a damn. You right. It should have. It ain't too late. You can go with him. I can see you with him right now if you want me to.
It's a prank.
Nah, you crying for real, bro. There ain't no damn prank. You crying for real.
It was a prank.
You crying for real, man.
You really gonna see me with somebody else with their family?
There wasn't no prank.
I see how.
There wasn't no prank. You crying for real. No. He dead for real.
I don't know.
No, you crying for real. There ain't no damn prank. You shed a real tear. No, you shed a real tear, bro.
No, I was not.
It's too early for this.
Like a little emotional.
No, you shed.
Shout out to everybody in the building. I had to play that. That shit was funny as hell, yo. I want to know, ladies, if your man, ex-girl passed away, you dig what I'm saying? And he was crying and all that. How would y'all feel about it? And my dudes, if your woman, ex-man passed away, how would y'all feel about that? But you do want, let me get into this shout out. If y'all can hear me crystal clear, anybody but a dead body. Anybody but a dead body. Why are you not a mod, Keith? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I didn't take your mod. All right, well, boom. If y'all can hear me crystal clear, anybody but a dead body, put the dice cubes up so I can shout out everybody in the building and we can get into this great content. Appreciate you, Keith. Thank you. Let me get to the top right quick and shout everybody out. You dig what I'm saying? Miss Tanja was the first one in the building. You dig what I'm saying? She said, don't wait. Tap the 3 dots on the right top. On the right top, let us know in the show. Thank you. My sister Seven is in the building. My sister Harley with her big ass head is in the building. Appreciate you, sis, for pulling up. East New York is in the building. My baby Keisha's in the building. My adopted little bro, Artist Morrison, is in the building. Yeah! My bro, Dog Soldier, is in the building. Who else we got this typed in so far? My guy, AP, Real Brooklyn Shit. Real Brooklyn Shit is in the building. Appreciate you. And thank you for telling me. I thought Ransom was from Queens. Well, you know why I thought he was from Queens? Because I remember when he first came out, it was him and Joe Buttons. And they was with DJ Clue. And they was Team Awless. I don't know why I thought they was from Queens. Maybe because of the Clue mixtapes. But thank you for correcting me on that one. You know what I'm saying? We got Southport Simba in the building. Simba, I am really proud of you, Simba. I am not no hater. You're looking good, girl. You're looking good. You're looking like a pack of annihilators. You understand what I'm saying to you? Simba said she was on her little journey of weight loss. Some people just, you know what I'm saying, try to lose weight, but then they don't get into the gym. If y'all go, make sure y'all follow Simba. You know what I'm saying? I'll make sure she got her wrench so she can put it in there. You dig what I'm saying? Y'all make sure, Simba, drop your page. To the ladies, do me a favor. Y'all get up in there. Y'all get up in there and go check my sister out and her resilience and how she up in that gym. Getting down. I'm talking about fucking them weights up. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of you, Simba. You do your thing. You still 050, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to Behind the Bar, you know what I'm saying? He's been doing this thing. I ain't seen him go live in a couple of days, but you know he in the cut doing what he got to do. You know what I'm saying? I got some things I want to talk about. That's a fact. I shouted out everybody in the building. I got some great things I want to talk about. Couple married 82 years. Great. Yo, I've never heard of nothing like that, yo. I mean, a couple married 82 years. My grandparents, until my grandfather passed away, they had 40 in. They had 40. But I'm talking about a couple that's 82 years together, married, and still going strong. Do y'all believe in that anymore? Y'all believe in that anymore? Because we're going to go over some more of the conversation about the young lady from Chicago, too. I got some updates on that also. Yo, Connors, what up, Maya? Big things, Juan. Do y'all believe in that type of love anymore? 82 years? I do. I'm not going to front. Dog said, yeah, I swear I do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even going to get it because y'all motherfuckers be hating too goddamn much. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm not talking about nobody in here. I'm talking about the people that be in the cut. The people that be in the cut in them bushes and them binoculars. Them people that don't be wanting the best for me. I will never, ever talk too much about how I'm feeling up or down on this internet. That's fucked up. For the people that surround me and the people I know that actually support me and love me, I'm always express to them how I'm feeling. But nah, this ain't for YouTube. Everything I had to learn is not for YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Some things, I'm in touch with my vulnerability. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I'm going to tell you how I feel. All that other shit been went out the window. But some people take certain things and go certain places and do certain things. And me personally, I told y'all every day, God's still working on me. Oh shit, I ain't even put the sub mode on. I ain't even do that. God's still working on me. You dig what I'm saying? And certain things I just have not really mastered yet. I've not really mastered yet. I've not really mastered because it's so many different opinions, especially with the situation going on with the young lady in Chicago. I'm really a Brooklyn veteran. Certain shit I think about that. I think about that every day. Shout out to King Troll. He did a great show earlier covering the topic. And he said some great things. like he said, when we was coming up, our parents told us, somebody put their hands on you, fight. Just like I told my son, somebody put their hands on you, you got the right to defend yourself. I'm never going to get upset with you, even if you get suspended. Even if you get suspended. My bro Liddy in the building. We got the Dominican. We got the Espanol LL Cool J in the building. See, when it comes to my kids, my child, my family, I'm still a little stupid, man. I'm going to jail for what I love. I know. Please, don't fault me for who I am. I don't know what I'll do tomorrow, but I'm talking about today. I'm talking about today. Because me personally, ooh, kid, if I'm walking with my son, if I had a daughter, if I'm walking with my son and my daughter, and my son is in junior high school and my little daughter is 4 or 5 years old, I don't care who put their hands on my children. Once you put your hands on my children, I'm putting hands and feet on you. Forgive me, y'all. I don't care if you're nobody else's child. It's just an honest to God fact, because your parents should have taught you certain things with respect. Your parents should have taught you certain things with respect. And I told y'all, I'm from where the community raises the village and the village keeps government over the children. Because if dogs see my son, Keisha see my son, if Liddy see my son, if Tanja, anybody in here see my son, and he's acting inappropriately, I would be so heartbroken if you didn't check him or correct him. You know why? Because a lot of us don't know how to correct our own children. A lot of us can't correct our own children because sometimes our children have admiration in the uncle. They have admiration in the best friend. They have admiration in certain people in the street that they feel as though they can be more comfortable about. So let's get into something. I want to show this short segment right quick. Shout out to Steve Harvey, man. Fair YouTube usage. I want y'all to pay attention to this right quick because these people been together 82 years and they said they got the cold blueprint on how to stay together for 82 years and so much more because they 82 years and counting. So let's check this out right quick. Remember y'all saw this first, man. Big Dice. Let's go. Listen to this right here, man. This shit had me in tears, yo. The secret to a good relationship and a happy relationship and marriage is just being nice to each other. Simple and fucking plain. Yo, listen to this, y'all. I'm getting a little teary-eyed, so let me shut the fuck up. Let's go. Did y'all hear that just now? Steve Harvey said couple been together for 11 years. They've been engaged for 5 years. The dude is saying he's not ready to get married yet because he wants to make sure it's the perfect wedding, the perfect scenery. You know, a lot of women want the fairy tale, you know what I'm saying, marriage. Do you see what the woman said? What you bringing us into that for? Because they from the era of minding they fucking business. They're from the era of minding their business. See, when you minding your business, when you and your spouse or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your significant other, because it's a new day, shout out to the LGBTQ, if y'all are minding each other's business, you can't be in each other's business worrying about what the fuck is going on with everybody else. So let's go over this one more time. Let's check this out, man, because I was priceless. This is priceless. Let's go. This is something else I want to talk about. The word court. He asked him how long was he courting her. Now, y'all can't tell me that's just not a remarkable story. 82 years old. The daughter looked like she about what? 75, 80 herself. You understand what I'm saying to you? Like he said, the lady said he was walking around like he had $100 in his pocket. Now, back then, pay attention. If they've been married 82 years ago, you know how much $100 was? So that meant the confidence that he displayed attracted her. He was walking around like he had a pocket full of money. That was just his aura, that's his glow, and that attracted that woman. And you heard what Steve asked him. He said, how long did you court her? A lot of people don't even talk about that whole scenario of courting each other anymore. It's just, I met you Thursday. We go out Friday. We sleep together Friday. We sleep together Saturday. We might sleep together Sunday. And then Monday, a lot of people are recognizing the person that they slept with on that Friday night. They don't even know who they are. They're not even attracted to that person. They might have been attracted to their physical attributes. They might have attracted to what they can bring to the relationship. But the whole DNA of the person, the whole dynamics of the person, you can never know them. How could you know somebody in 3 or 4 days? How could you know somebody before you get into a misunderstanding with them? How could you know somebody before y'all have a misunderstanding or argument? You can't know nobody until you go down, because it ain't going to always be up. When you go down, when you get to that point where that person might have you a little aggravated or disgusted, that's when you know if you're in love with somebody. You dig what I'm saying? That's when you know. So I shout it out to all the people like that and all the people with that great energy and all that. You understand what I'm saying to you? I don't know if y'all always hear me talking about my man $500,000, God bless the dead. There's a documentary on YouTube called A Player Hater Story. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull it up right now. A player. Okay, boom. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. It's a documentary about my man, the great $500,000. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. I want everybody to do me a favor and go check this out. Good friend of mine, great friend of mine. Great friend of mine. He would have never even been around Nas or AZ if it wasn't for me. Because my man was one of the most nicest MCs in Brooklyn. He got legendary mixtapes and legendary songs out to this day. I want to show y'all something because I feel so bad. If I would have, it's like God works in mysterious ways. I don't know if y'all remember the show back in the days called the Keenan Ivory Wayne Show. It was like a runoff from the Arsenio Hall show, the Keenan Ivory Wayne Show. I never forget my man Half calling me going, yo, God, you want to go with us to California? And I'm like, going to California for what? He was like, yo, they sending us to the Keenan Ivory Show, baby. I can get a ticket for you. Let's go, God. I want you there. Make a long story short, I was running around doing some other things, and I gave my man his blessings and told him to go out there and shock the world because he needed to be heard. If you listen to the Belly soundtrack, Just Eric, I see you in the building. If anybody has YouTube music or has acknowledgement, if you listen to the Belly soundtrack, my man got the hottest song on that album, and he's up there with big people, the Coogee Raps, the Noriegas, et cetera, the Iman Fellas. He is up there going crazy. But this song right here called World Famous, I wish I could have been there with him. So I watched this video from now, just to reminisce about my dude Half. And I want y'all to pay attention. He's the first person. He wrote most of the Firm's album. I can do a story about the problem that happened between AZ, Anthony Cruz, and Nasir Jones, because both of them wanted to have a tighter hold on Half, but Half was his own man. The whole big situation with Steve South. I want y'all to pay attention to this. This is a show they did, and I want y'all to pay attention. This was over 20 years ago. My man Mine was somewhere else, y'all. He was somewhere else, man. Shout out to the Firm featuring my guy $500,000, y'all. Let's go.
Yeah. It's the Dilly, y'all. How we living? Yo, with the Dilly, Philly-Yato. Used to cop low from Billy Blanco. Little Willie's Road, Chaco, and Phillies and Paco. Dilly, y'all. How we living? Yo, with the Dilly, Philly-Yato. Used to cop low from Billy Blanco. Little Willie's Road, Chaco, and Phillies and Paco. Willie's 650s with my eyes closed. Running down with find a hole. Kind of rock the shouts in their toe. Side blowers, non-toters, high rollers. I notice, keep my mind focused. Rhymes are focused, rhyme dopers. Niggas can't believe my mind broke this. I was raised in a family of lot smokers. 850 eyes wide rovers. No chauffeur, we drive high, never sober. Drive by with the scoper. Black Scarface, go down. If you're looking through the credits, need to check for your name. If it's hot there, complain that it's not fair. The way I popped up, hot all year. Like the scarlet fever, take the heart to all non-believers. Luther with sharps, make it more hard to reach us. flips, be the guard feature. Flashing more stacks, foreheaded as a gold jack. Keep so packed and the money close, kid. Brothers on my, like they honey roasted. Double XL, I had the full fit. Celebrating this life, the whole clip. Push it up, y'all. Push it up, y'all. Push it up, y'all. Push it up, y'all. Up top, y'all. Push it up, y'all. Push it up, y'all.
Wow.
What? For the this shit stole the sweet cold shit. So you listen, chisel dice, hold the blister. Soldier wisdom, when it gets your whole solar system. This shit, 2 players know the mission. Guns ready, when Benjamin's it becomes deadly. Before you fire, take aim, hold steady. Keep on with it behind us. No shit down, nationwide close the finest. Late Jiggy, cool pushes way 50. With 850, the ZT, Mr. BC. But we up, moolah slow me up. Shows me up, sex drive, gon' be done. For the world, every boy, every girl. No fade, afros, waves of girls. Not a lady, I'm like a stress lady.
Look at Fox.
Little chick, the statement, all that fake 2K with is what y'all brought this detrimental. Makes you know where in the rental is real. When you ballin', that's when they running with you. You ballin', ain't fucking with you yet. No doubt, I'm a flash my light on my family. And I rap for myself. World famous,
Push it up, yeah. 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 Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. When you ready to go. Here we go, baby. Let them know. Let them know. Yeah, roll to the top of the globe. Launch it off, like the way a rocket explode. Never change course. Yeah, everywhere in this game, 7 years. Champagne tears from niggas away. Been across seas that's around the hemisphere. Rip out arenas like Madison Square. Pulling the finest girls with the fattest gear. Not something out there, but we had our share. Built the house on the mountain on top of the peak. Acres of green grass, still watching the street. For the trade for individuals, protecting my life. Indivisible, I'm the guard, flexing my eyes. Never stress one thing. All promise to come.
Yo, rest in peace to the almighty $500,000. Shout out to Jaffe, he in the building. Yo, I was laughing. If I ain't gonna get into it, I'm just gonna. If anybody know, there was a club called the Jaguars back in the days in Brooklyn on St. John's between Rochester and Buffalo, closer to Rochester. Me and my man M bought the club. Facts. I wasn't a big Anthony Cruz fan. Like, we knew him as Anthony Cruz. Y'all call him AZ. I stopped, even though I love his lyrics. We paid $5,000 for him to come perform Sugar Hill in our club. This is a true story. I could do a story on this one night. We paid $5,000 for Anthony Cruz, a.k.a. AZ, to come do his #1 hit, Sugar Hill, in our club, and he didn't show up. Did we get our money back? Yes. But we lost a lot of money that night, too. The club is packed. We was charging $30 a head for everybody to get in, and we had to give the majority of that money back because he never showed up. Yo, Grizz, salute. I see you in the baby. I see you. Yo, China, I see you. Stay on their motherfucking neck. Put it in the fucking comment section. So I wasn't really a fan of Anthony Cruz like that, but then I found out because of politics, and he really was in the street, just like we were really in the street back in the days. Some things that came up with some family members of his, because he's from East New York. So I had to understand it. It's just that we were so excited because I was 18. My man M was 17, and we just purchased a club. Facts. Like this, we just purchased a club. So the hood was so enthused and was so excited because of connections. We was praying that everything would have just went through. I'm talking about the most dangerous people in the world was in that club that night. And Half was a different individual. They got a documentary now. Like I said, the show is in here. I put it in I dropped it in the comment section. I'm gonna get it again. China got me saying that shit. Put it in the comment section. If y'all get a chance, go check out A Player Hater Story by $500,000. Rest in peace to Ring Dog, the Big Blood, if y'all know. He's in the show. Rest in peace to my nigga Paris, Flam, Forever Love and Miss. He's in the show. Rest in peace to my man Ali. Y'all called him DJ Alatola. That was Half DJ. I introduced him in Half, but he had a infection in his leg. He had an infection in his leg and he passed away. He had an infection in his leg and he passed away. So if you know anything about anything, you know what I'm saying? If you know anything, and Inga, I tell people this, Inga, y'all call her Foxy Brown. Shout out to my nigga Pretty Boy, her brother. You know what I'm saying? Inga is one of the most underrated female MCs ever. I don't know. Y'all call her Foxy. I know her, like, so I call her Inga. You know what I'm saying? We knew her from Weston House and how she used to be pulling up, battling downtown when we was all following people with the rap music. My man Carnage said, $500,000 Quiet Money track is fire. Yo, Carnage, I'm going to tell you a story. If anybody go listen to the song right now, it's called Quiet Money. It's on AZ's album, but you got to go to Half album. It's on AZ's album. I think it's number 6, but you got to go to Half album called Million. I'm going to put it in the chat. $500,000. And the name of the song is Million. The album name is Million. I put it in the chat just now. You have to listen to that song, Carnage. The next time you listen to that song, you're going to hear what I'm saying. Ron Dew was arrested and convicted for killing Rip. $500,000 cousin, one of my close friends. I met him through Half. Me and Half used to be on tour. We used to go out of town together. So make a long story short, it was a big situation that erupted in my man's cousin's studio. Anybody know anything about the studio? It's called a cutting room. Big situation erupted. Altercation started between Ron Dew and Rip. And Ron Dew is not a sucker. I'm gonna let that be known right now. Well-known, respected gangster from New York, Brooklyn, New York, from Albany Projects. His baby mother is Belinda. Him and Rip got into an altercation. And then Rip, all I know is Rip got stabbed in the chest and died on the spot. Rip got stabbed in the chest and died on the spot. And that's what sent Ron Dew to his demise right now. They gave him 18 years to life. I heard a rumor that he had gave some of that time back, but I'm really not sure. It was just a whole fucked up situation because everybody was family. You know what I'm saying? But you see what's going on with the young lady in Chicago. We've been talking about it. I was the first one on YouTube to even cover the story. I'm glad other people are now covering the story because this should be getting out about the lady with sickle cell anemia that was pregnant, that was assaulted and attacked by her son's bullies. When do we have the right to defend ourselves? I was always told if a person gets within 3 feet of my personal space, I have the right to react, whether it's an overreaction or not. I have the right to react because 3 feet and further, if you're standing 5 feet away from me and you're communicating with me, I don't have no problem hearing you unless I'm suffering from ear loss or something like that. So when it comes to 3 feet of space, as adults, men, whatever you want to call it, once you step into that realm of 3 feet close to my personal body, I got the right to do anything I want to, whether it could be from me hurting you or you hurting yourself or me getting hurt. I have the right to defend myself. I got 2 different segments I want y'all to pay attention to. I got 2 different segments pertaining to self-defense. First, we're going to get in the job. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. Nah, for real. For niggas checking in, they better check again. For niggas checking in, they better check again. For niggas checking in, they better check again. Yeah. For niggas checking in, they better bow down to the fucking greatest. I'm the greatest. Nigga. Look, mama, yeah, your son done made it. Bow down to the fucking greatest. Watch me work, y'all here to witness greatness. The niggas checking in, they better check again. The effing in, come with a switch. I dare you talk again like fuck it. Push the wrong button and I'ma up it. Got a box full of old drug money. I never touch it. I really brag about the shit that I wear, but it do be something like, this is not a Kango hat, it's a Prada bucket. I'm still searching for a good sale. The AV costs about 12. Shit always come back around. Give me a good pill. All it takes is the right fiend. I change a nigga life. These niggas front, they ain't got no hustle. Something ain't right. The same race, they still stuck in the back. I done lapped them twice. If it's up my bitch to bring my pipe. No matter if I'm wrong or right. I sing to her like Barry White. For real, on the B, I know my baby is sting. Something like Glenn Rice. Shoot up. One time for the Buddhas. Talking queens that they ain't mentioning me. Then these niggas stupid. For niggas checking in, they better check again. The niggas checking in, they better check again. The niggas checking in, they better check again. The niggas checking in, they better bow down to the fucking greatest. I'm the greatest. Look, mama, your son done made it. Bow down to the fucking greatest. Watch me work, y'all here to witness greatness. The nigga that you thinking is him, hey man, they like that. If the Tigers take your chain, can get your ice back. You leave me, I'm rolling with E-Weeds with them black things. Look like controllers not playing P3 for the wrong reasons. You'll be famous up on the TV though. Channel 1 News, I'm talking Rocco for Tuccio. Put that money gone, don't be a stupido. Call him in his casa, I took his dinero and got his bully too. It's NY, yo, welcome to see the bad guy. Meet me at the Plaza Hotel, got jobs for all of y'all. Damn if I'm out here starving and can't eat. Oh, the show black. My name Top, oh pleased to meet you. Send a bag on, terrorize niggas like Clarence Preacher. Through my process, never forgot what got me $1. Black and white, I was serving 8 balls on my corner pocket. You talk tough, but I see him as nothing. They gotta stop it. For niggas checking in, they better check again. The niggas checking in, they better check again. The niggas checking in, they better check again. The niggas checking in, they better bow down to the fucking greatest. I'm the greatest. Look, mama, your son done made it. Bow down to the fucking greatest. Watch me work, y'all here to witness greatness.
East New York said, do you remember Emil? Yep. She used to live in Brooklyn. Got a story or two about that too. Shout out to my man Buddha Monk. They used to be with the Wu Man Shoes. Emil used to live right on Prospect on my aunt's block between Albany and Kingston. And one of the best brownstones on the block. She wound up marrying a dude from the Wu Man Shoes. His name is Killer Priest. She wound up marrying Killer Priest from the Wu Man Shoes. And I remember when she was working with Jay-Z with the nigga what and all them songs and all that. And then she was working in Kmart. She was working in Kmart because of certain things that went down with Rockefeller and JC allegedly, you know what I'm saying, and her husband, you know what I'm saying, because she did marry the dude, Killer Priest. He felt as though that he didn't want her around that bullshit no more. And then she just heard her disappear. But she was one of the nicest MCs out. I ain't gonna front. That's a fact. But let's get to self-defense, y'all. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Share this live out if y'all want to. Hit that like button. Do me a favor. What do we have to go through before we won't be charged or arrested for defending ourselves? Because like I said, with the situation with them children in Chicago, let me tell you something. I'd have slapped so many children when it came to me and my children. I would have slapped so many kids that day because the way that mob was attacking that woman and the way they followed her, whatever they got, they deserve. I'm going to keep it funky with you. And you know what? I said this earlier. Children are doing what they see. They emulate what they see. Like I've seen a woman go get her sons. Like, I don't know if y'all ever heard of this. I've seen a woman go get her sons because of her beef or because of something that she involved herself into because she just be wanting to run her mouth all day. But when they get on YouTube, they put these faces up. I seen a woman go get her kids, not son, go get her kids to go fight somebody. I seen a woman stand right in front of the person's building, making absurdities, just sounding and acting like a fucking fool, and they had their children with them to fight. That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. That shit happens all the time, but it's sad. So if your child gets killed unalived, your child get unalived or unalive somebody else and have to spend the rest of their life in jail, you're to blame. You're to blame. And a lot of these kids are doing what their parents do. That's why I try to tell people, I try to work on my communication when it comes to children, when it comes to family members, when it comes to friends. Instead of talking at each other, people need to talk to each other. When we're talking to our children, We need to talk to our children instead of talking at our children, because it was times my mother had made the mistake of talking at me instead of talking to me, and it put me in a defensive mode. It put me in a real defensive mode. I've even heard somebody say that your children and you and your children should be friends. I totally disagree with that. How many of y'all feel in here that your children should be your friends? I totally disagree with that shit. My son ain't gonna never be my fucking friend. I will always respect the fact that he's an adult. We should always respect the fact that our children are adults if they are of the age considered to be adult. But we should never be friends with our children. Because when you come up being friends with your children, for example, partying with your children. See, I grew up different. If I was at a party that my mother or my father or my grandmother or my grandfather was going to, it was usually at a family member's house. But when the adults were in the basement, or when the adults were in the back room, or when the adults was outside having a party, there was always a designated area for the children. Us as kids was never allowed to be in them parties. When I heard my mother and my aunt and them screaming, "Woo, the roof is on fire. We don't give a fuck. Just let that motherfucker burn." I come from that era. I come from when they told us the only reason that you better come out that room is if you're going to the bathroom. Yo, great. I see you in the building, beloved. Salute. Let me know when I can get that slot too on that TV guide, beloved. If y'all don't know, if y'all content creators, reach out to my guy, We Were Building We, aka Great Grandson, on Instagram. He had a hell of an idea before. I'm glad he decided to figure it out. YouTube TV guide for certain content creators, whether it's, entertainment, whether it's entertainment, whether it's banging, whatever it is, it's digital Hollywood. But he has a great idea, and he's finally deciding to make it go. You want to be on YouTube, you want to understand the people, you want people of your choice, of a crowd, to let specifically know when you're going live. I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea, y'all, because some people don't know when we are going live. But if we have certain slots, the people that support us, you know what I'm saying, they'll be there. Even when we decide to go live, like I say, always make sure that bell notification. I get that from Harlem Legend. Make sure that bell notification. Shout out to Harlem, yo. Make sure that bell notification is on. That's the only way you'll know when we're going live. Let's get to this. I got a little story I want to show y'all. The first one I'm going to show y'all is two men on an airplane. Let's see if y'all seen this one before. Let's go.
I'm I really love.
I said.
Hold on, y'all. I want to go to the beginning on this right quick. I want y'all to pay attention to something. Right here, we have a man literally assaulting another man. Let's disregard the fact that this is a Caucasian man and it's a black man. Let's disregard that. I hate when people start putting color into the dynamics of disrespect, because then it turns into a racial thing. We have a grown man that's slapping and assaulting another man on the plane. The first time he put his hands on me, we are fighting. We're fighting. It's 2 or 3 times, and then he decides to finally just defend himself. When will we know is enough?
I'm a I really love.
I said.
Chill, bitch.
Y'all both gonna get kicked off the plane. Just chill out. Just chill out. Yeah, maybe y'all shouldn't sit together no more.
Yes. No, it's kicking me in the face. I told him that this is not yours. This is illegal.
Yeah.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue.
How y'all feel about that? How y'all feel about that? How y'all feel about that? Keith said he showed amazing restraint. Most would have went in on him from the minute he put his hands on me. From the minute he put his hands on me. It's a wrap. But like they said, when the stewardess came up, if both of y'all don't stop, y'all will both be kicked off the plane. How come the aggressor, if anyone is supposed to be kicked off the plane, how come it's not the aggressor? Seriously. Seriously. Now, see, that was two men. Ladies, no offense, y'all are more vicious than men. I don't care what nobody say. People may think I'm joking. People say that men are dangerous. I say women are dangerous. I say that the women are more vicious because check this out. I showed you a man's point of view from it. Now I want y'all to see something. I want to know how y'all feel about this. And this is women. Let's go.
Come on, baby.
You've had attitudes.
Take a step right here and punch you, Daniel.
Now pay attention to what the woman is saying. The young lady, the black young lady is telling the white young lady, if you step over here in my personal space, I'm going to punch you in your face. Pay attention.
In your face. Come on, baby.
You've had attitudes.
Take a step right here and punch you, Daniel.
Whoa. Okay, let's call the police. Let's call the police.
Okay, let's call the police. Was she wrong? One more time.
In your face. Come on, baby.
You've had attitudes.
Take a step right here and punch you, Daniel.
Whoa. Okay, let's call the police. Let's call the police. Let's call the police right now.
Self-defense.
How come the lady said to her, if you come over here, if you come in this space right here, I'm going to punch you in your face. Is that communicating of a threat? Is that communication of a threat? Or is that somebody adamantly expressing to someone what is going to happen if their space is invaded? So I'm saying if the woman, the black lady expressed to the white woman, if you come in my space, like you heard her say, I'm going to punch you in your face. How come after the white woman remains to be the aggressor and walks towards her and she swings, boom, how come the first thing that comes out of her mouth is, let's call the police? What the fuck the police got to do with it? Let me explain something to you. A fair one is a fair one. Yo, Zeke Black, I see you in the building. Salute. The Godfather's here. From a fair, I mean, if the woman is saying, do me a favor, do not come in my space. What do we have to do? What do we have to go through? Do we have to be beat on? Do we have to be injured? Because if you pay attention to what went down in Chicago, the lady was in the hospital. She has lacerations on her mouth. Her eye is swollen. She's suffering from sickle cell, and she's also pregnant. This is the main question I want to ask. So if the abuse that was done to her, if the assault was that strong, what if it would have made her have a miscarriage? Because you know, if someone is pregnant and you make them have a miscarriage due to fighting or violence, You know that's murder, right? Y'all do know that's murder. So you mean to tell me all them kids following this young lady down the street, she has a problem with walking. She's sick. I thought that it was I thought it was something with a mental. I actually thought that maybe she had been in consumption of alcohol. But when they had her in the hospital and when they had her in the office with the lawyers that was telling her what was going to happen, she wasn't intoxicated. That's just her speech. She's a sick woman and she's fucking pregnant. Now, when I saw them kids pull her to the ground, she fell on top of her son because she was trying to protect him. Why didn't she have the right? Why didn't she have the right to assault them? Now, it's been 3 days. No one has been arrested yet. Child Protective Services said that they are going to do a proper investigation. Proper investigation. But these are kids that's in junior high school. 13, 14, some 12. Should they be charged as adults? Seriously. Should they be charged as adults? Because I'm not trying to sound funny, and I hope nobody feels wrong with what I'm about to say. I'm tired of everybody saying they was children. They're not good children. There aren't respectful children. These are bad children. Shouldn't they be dealt with? Shouldn't they? What if the lady would have died? What if she fell and hit her head? She would have died. Aneurysm of the brain, impact to the... What if that drama and that effect that she went through, what if that put a strain on her and it affects her child? What if her child comes up with a deformity? What if a child comes up with a physical illness that can be proved stemmed from her being attacked and thrown to the floor? That's a fact. He said they didn't act as children. That was a mob mentality. They followed her down the block. You got to call it what it is. That's a fact, Carnage, because let me explain it to you. That's not a normal activity. That's not a normal activity. I really feel as though, because they got these kids now sitting in front of their parents with these tears or whatever, apologizing for what they've done. I really feel as though that them children should be taken out of them homes. Every one of them children, especially the one that was pulling her hair when she was on the ground, punching her and pulling her hair, especially the ones that was punching her in the face when she was standing up on that fence, especially the one with that yellow coat that ran and jumped up in the air and kicked her while she was on the ground. What if she would have stomped that woman in her stomach, like I said, and forced her to have a miscarriage? What if she'd have forced her to have hemorrhaging? Fuck that. I don't care if they're children. Those are evil kids. We got to start dealing with the fact that there are some evil people in this world, and they're not all adults. They're not all adults. See, people have been passive for so long. Like you might know a nephew, you might know a little cousin, you might know a little niece, you might know, you know that these children are bad, so you do the best of your ability to make sure that your children are not in their company or in their presence, especially unattended by adults. So if we feel as though some of these children are that dangerous, shouldn't they get some type of help? Even if it's not prison, even if it's not correction, shouldn't they be sent somewhere for a mental evaluation? Shouldn't they have to go through extensive therapy and treatment? Like people have to go through certain steps, like when they're in a rehab. My uncle was in a rehab and they told him he had to be there for a certain amount of time because he had to prove himself as being responsible enough to go in the street without interaction and falling back into the addiction of drugs. Shouldn't our children have to go through that? I don't care if it's mine or yours or anybody else. I'm talking about parents in general. If you have a child that's deemed to be bad, y'all used to the movie Damien? If you have a child that you know has some evil intentions in their heart, shouldn't they be put somewhere to be evaluated? Shouldn't they be put in a different atmosphere or upbringing? Because obviously all of these children that were following this lady and mauled this lady, they come from a wicked, wicked background. Who knows? But this is Chicago. They said this is Chicago. They said even the young kids out there is drilling. Even the young kids out there is telling themselves they're going to grow up to be gangsters and drill rappers, et cetera, et cetera. East New York said, yes, definitely to see where all that anger is coming from. Because I'm a strong believer that children emulate what they see. Children emulate what they're around. And then sometimes when it comes to anger, you pay attention. That's why I said maybe they should not be incarcerated. Maybe they should not be put in group homes. Maybe they should not be put in anything pertaining to jail, because a lot of times when you see children displaying anger like that, something has happened to them children. It could be sexual abuse. It could be simple things like neglect, because you never know how a child is thinking. You never know how your child is thinking. I'm so tired of people saying, yo, this and that and this and that, and those were kids. I don't care. I don't care, because there's no age limit on a killer. What if one of them children would have had a gun? What if one of them children would have had a knife? What if they would have had a bat? What if they would have had a stick? They would have beat that woman and her children. And her son, I feel so bad for him. And I'm so glad that they took the steps, the Board of Education took the steps to remove her son out of that school. And he's going to be transferred to a school on the other side of town where they just gave that woman a beautiful home and a car. And she got $200,000. And she has $200,000. One thing, that bad situation turned out to be for the good. I even see people now on YouTube. I even see people now on Instagram joking, since they're giving out $200,000 for a parent getting beat up, why don't y'all send your kids over here to beat me up? I've never seen so many incompassionate people like I see nowadays. There are people joking about this. It's people that's actually making it seem like they're upset. Like they're saying, so what, she got beat up? How did she get $200,000? Why did she get a new car? Why did she get a new home? Why did the Chicago rapper feel as though that he want to take the whole family to California? Because he wants them to get out of that environment for Christmas. What do we do? Seriously, y'all, what do we do? And then Keith said one of the attacker's aunts is taunting the victim. You know why I've heard some people taunting her? Because I've seen people post that she should have beat their ass. Everybody's not aggressive. And she's pregnant. And she has sickle cell anemia. She is not in any shape, form, or fashion prepared to fight a group of children, a group of anyone. She was walking with her young daughter and her son, and they walked up and punched him in his face. They just walked up and punched him in his face. I'm looking at the little boy holding his face like this, and he's crying. Tears are running down his eyes. He's terrified. And then she backs up, and I gotta say, I gotta give her some props too, because no matter what, she never seemed like she wanted to be aggressive with them children. I've heard her saying in a video, what's wrong? Like, what's wrong? She even said, what did he do to you? You know, because some parents always run around with this, what my child is not going to do. Bullshit. You just say what your child is not going to do in front of you. Because we don't act the same way when we're alone in the streets like we act when we're in front of our parents. If that was the case, when we was outside back in the days when we was young, and we was thinking we was grown, and we was drinking alcohol, we was smoking cigarettes, or smoking marijuana, et cetera, et cetera. When we thought we was grown, we didn't do that in front of our parents. City Boy salute. We didn't do that in front of our parents. We waited till we got out of the eyes of our parents. We waited. We waited. But nowadays, we got parents thinking their children are just angels. And I applaud this woman because the first thing she was saying was, what did he do to you? Like, what's wrong? Talk to me. Like she's trying to do the best thing. Like, you know, back in the days, if your child did something, the most you would want is another child's parent, or even if the child is right there and your child is arguing, you would want them to express to you, what do you feel was done by my child that upset you so much that you want to fight? Them kids didn't want to hear that. Them kids had it already locked in their mind that they were going to assault that woman and her children. It was already in their mind. That's why I feel as though that they should be put somewhere for an evaluation, counseling, mental counseling, because we need to sit these kids down and talk to them. Y'all are 13, 12, 11 years old. We got to start sitting down talking like, what's wrong? What's going on in your life? Like, you know, kids, they don't want to talk about things that may be disturbing them. They don't really feel comfortable talking to everybody about what's disturbing them. But if we start understanding that some things that our children are going through, they don't want nobody to know. Maybe it's time for professional help. It's nothing wrong with your child going to see a therapist. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with your child going to see a therapist. But you know what is wrong? When you possess pride, too much pride. When you start telling yourself, my kid don't need no help. When you start telling yourself, you didn't need no help. Because when you was coming up, all the mischievous things you was doing. Ain't that fucked up? Because you notice we was all raised that supposed to keep things in-house. Don't tell the world what's going on. We're going to handle it in-house. No, that's what therapists and psychologists are for. That's what therapists and psychologists are for. To help people understand what has them upset, what has them going through certain things, or to try to help people to get over certain atrocities that they've been through in their life. Like I said, I'm going to keep staying on this situation with this young lady from Chicago. Because me, personally, I don't think that their parents should have the right or the pleasure of having their children in their homes, because the parents of these kids obviously have not displayed parental observation when it comes to their children. Now, I could be wrong when it comes to some of the parents. Some mothers are working 2 jobs. Some mothers are working 2 jobs, and some mothers are working graveyard shift jobs just to take care of their families, because a lot of mothers nowadays, unfortunately, are in single family households. The crazy part about this is her baby father, the children's husband, the children's father, was at work when this was happening, because everybody was going, where's the father at? Why didn't he take him to school? Why didn't he come pick him up? Because he was at work. Because he was at work. And how come this little boy has been being bullied and harassed for over 2 years, and nobody took the time to just sit down and say, you know what? Let's see what's going on. The woman says she's been going up to the school for 2 years. She's been trying to speak to certain people of importance in the school, but unfortunately, every time she gets to the school, she says they're in a meeting. She's going to have to come back at another time or another day. She said it was times when she came early in the morning, there was meetings. There was times she came midday, they were in meeting. There was times she came after school and they weren't there. So it seems like because of what's going on with the judicial system, because of what's going on with these new jails, these new reformers they have for these kids, I think it's just like the system is waiting for our children to be arrested. When I started seeing like down here, when I went to Boys and Girls High School, we had security guards. I went to IS 390, we had 2 security guards. That's it. 2 security guards for the whole 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Now, when I went to high school, I started seeing more security guards. They would put the security guards at every exit at Boys and Girls High School because a lot of children were known to cut class. Mr. Mickens was the second teacher, just like Joe Clark in New Jersey. Just like Joe Clark. Mr. Mickens, it was so crazy with truancy. Mr. Mickens, after everybody came in for class, and after everybody that had to line up on Schenectady and Herkimer came in for being late, when they wrote their names down and was given passes to go to class for being late. Mr. Mickens personally walked around to every door and chained them up because he said he wasn't going to have his kids out there in the street. They made it seem like when Joe Clark did that, they wanted to arrest him because they said their children were in prisoners. But Mr. Clark was saying that if he closed the doors and locked the doors during school hours, the influences from outside would not be able to come in and disrupt his school. The influences from outside would not be able to come in and disrupt his students in his classrooms. Mr. Mickens felt the same way. So when it came to that, I actually was for that because I was one of the children. I'm not going to front. I was one of the children that after homeroom, maybe first period, maybe second period. But once I got to lunchtime, I was leaving. I was leaving. Boys and Girls High School, that's a legendary school. Rest in peace to Mr. Frank Mickens. That was the first gangster principal I ever seen. You came to school with jury on, that nigga was backing you down. That nigga run up on you in the hallway. Come here, give me that. The young ladies that was coming to school with the big door knocker earrings, the big puffy bamboo earrings, Mr. Mickens was telling them straight up and down, take them out your ears. Take them out your ears. And Mr. Mickens would take your jury and then he would call your parents. He would call your parents. He would call your parents and say, I need you to come up to school and I need to have a talk with you. And of course, when parents came up to school, he would automatically give them their children's property back. Pay attention. Mr. Mickens told all the parents, he said this shit numerous times. He said this in auditoriums and telling us. He said, if I take your jury from you one time, because the big gaudy jury, back then it wasn't the Cuban links like that. It was the big rope chains, et cetera, the pieces and everything. Mr. Mickens said, if I took jury from you, you had one time for him to take it and it would be returned. He said, but if he took jury from you after calling your parents and having your parents come up to Boys and Girls High School and him taking whatever he is taking from you because he felt as though it was very dangerous. Children was getting robbed, all type of things. Big Daddy Kane got a little brother named Little Daddy Shane. He wore one of Big Daddy Kane's puffy links to Boys and Girls High School, and he was robbed. He was robbed. He was robbed before he got in the building. He was robbed right across the street in Stuyvesant Park. Allegedly by some people I know, allegedly. But Mr. Mickens said, if I give you back your jury, or if I give you back your children's jury, if I catch them in my school on my property with the same jury that I have confiscated from them, he said, I'm taking it for good. He said, I'm taking it for good. And pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. If you come up to school and you're a concerned parent, or if you're a parent of any type of decency, if he gives you back something that your child had, because a lot of times back in the days, it wasn't the parents that was buying the big gaudy jewelry. It wasn't the parents that was buying all that big gaudy jewelry. And if parents did reward their children with some jewelry, if they did reward their daughters or their sisters or anything with the door knockers, they always told them it was an appropriate time to wear jewelry. It seemed like it's a whole different situation today when it comes to being children and being adults. A lot of these children today have been given so many responsibilities. Like I tell people, be careful when you have your oldest child babysitting your youngest children. I'll say this again. Be careful when you have what you may call your oldest child, whether it's a male or female, and you give them the responsibility of watching your younger children, their younger siblings. Because I've heard so many people grow up with resentment because of that. I've heard so many people say, I didn't sleep for them. I didn't sleep with nobody for them children. I didn't create them children. Why can't I live my life? Why can't I go to a party? Why can't I go to a party? Why do I have to watch your children? See, we have to tell our kids straight up and down why they have to do certain things. Not why they, no, not why, excuse me. We have to tell our children why we need them. Why we need them to do certain things. Because it's not their job or their duty to watch your kids. But it's better to sit up and tell your children, yo, check this out. Mommy got to work. Daddy got to work. Unfortunately, when mommy works, y'all should be sleeping. Unfortunately, sometimes on the weekend, when mommy works, I'm going to need y'all to watch your brother or your sisters. But instead of demanding them to be babysitters, you know, you can get a lot of more bees with honey than you can with shit. You can get a lot more bees opening a honey jar than you can opening a jar of shit. Meaning, if you talk to your children about why you need them to help you. Number one, we're family. Number one, we're family. But you know what I'm going to do? Because you helped me, something that you wanted that may be outlandish. Something that you wanted that may be out of our parents' budgets. See, back in the days, our parents believed in layaway. Our parents, my grandmother was a firm believer of layaway. Because layaway meant that if you went in the store and you tried on a jacket, a clothes, a pair of shoes, jewelry, anything that you wanted, it was always a minimum of what they wanted you to pay. If some people said they wanted 10%, they want 20% as a down payment. Pay attention. They want 20% as a down payment because when you say that you want a certain chain or you want a certain coat or you want a certain hat, they're going to take that chain off the shelf. They're going to take that coat off the shelf, and then they're going to put that coat or whatever you wanted in the back of the store with a paper or receipt stipulating that you want this coat. And in good faith, the reason why they won't have this coat or whatever you want out in the open, because, you know, somebody else can walk in the same coat you want, they might want it, but the coat price they may have in their pocket. You know, that jewelry, that chain that they may have been attracted to that you couldn't buy at one time, they can. So that's why a lot of the stores back in the days had the layaway program, because they said, you know what? You may not have the whole amount for the show. You may not have a whole amount for the coat. But if you got 20% down, that is an initiative for me to take that coat and put it in the back. But see, with layaway, they gave you a plan. A lot of people said 90 days the lease. Some people said you can have stuff on layaway up to 6 months. Because my grandmother always said, well, check this out. If you want it in the summer, start paying for it in the winter. If you want it in the winter, start paying for it in the summer. I did not understand that shit until I became an adult. I don't even know, Keish. Do y'all know anything about that? Do stores still offer layaway? Because back in the days, I got cousins that had to babysit. And then after maybe 2 weekends or 3 weekends, because a lot of parents, unfortunately, had to work on the weekend. They didn't have the luxury of having the weekends off when we was coming up. Some parents had to work on the weekends to make extra. But you know, of that second weekend or that third weekend, as the older child is put in a predicament to be a babysitter, the parent usually came home and said, you'll go in the room and look on your bed. Parents might come home and go in their pocket and be like, yo, you know this money right here? I put it to the side because I wanted you to have a good time, because I don't have to work this Saturday. I don't have to work this Saturday. So this money I was putting together all these weekends because you was watching your little brother or your little sister. I want you to go out and have a good time. I want you to go out with your friends and have a good time and live your life, because we have to express to our children, it's not their obligation to watch our kids. It's not their obligation to watch their little siblings. But if it is asked upon, at least we can take the initiative as parents to sit down and verbally communicate to our children why we need them. See, it's the difference. Like he said, it was from that era when they said, she just said it. She said, that's the do as I say, that's the do as I say, not as I do attitude. And that's some of the craziest shit that I could say, because how could you be smoking weed in front of your son or daughter? How could you be consuming of alcohol in front of your child? How could you be consuming of any type of deterrent, any type of drug in front of your child, and you got the nerve to tell them, don't do as I do as I say? That's going to make that child, the minute they get out of your eyesight, the minute they get out of your circumference, the minute they get around a group of their friends, that's going to make that child do it because of curiosity. People fail to realize curiosity kills a fucking cat. That's how a lot of chicks got pregnant. Y'all do know that, right? Sir Valentino, salute. Y'all do know that, right? Curiosity. While a lot of women got pregnant, while a lot of men became young fathers. See, I'm from the era when people were having babies at 15 and 14. I'm the only one from that era? I'm the only one that knew a 14-year-old or a 15-year-old girl or a 14-year-old or a 15-year-old boy that was expecting a child that was about to be a father. It's only me. Huh? It's only me? Well, that's where we come from. That's where we come from. But the sad part about it is, it's a normal, like Keisha said. It's a sad truth, but it's a normal. Like let me explain to you. The hardships of Brooklyn, there's an old time saying, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. Y'all ever heard that before? Frank Sinatra, I want to wake up in a city that never sleeps and find I'm king of the hill and talk of the beat. These little town blues are melting away. I got to be a part of it in all New York. Yo, that's one of the realest songs. Frank Sinatra, I'm a Frank Sinatra fan. I'm going to keep it funky with y'all. You dig what I'm saying? I'm a Frank Sinatra fan, and I'm a James Dean fan. I am a Frank Sinatra fan, and I am a James Dean fan to the day I pass away. And the reason why I'm such a fan of Frank Sinatra, because he was a gangster. The reason why I'm such a fan of James Dean, because he was a gangster. But the most important reason why I'm a fan of these two men, because they were not prejudiced. And if anybody's familiar with Frank Sinatra and James Dean, they had a group called the Rat Pack. They had a group called the Rat Pack, and it consists of 3 members. It consists of 3 members. Frank Sinatra, James Dean, and the great Sammy Davis Jr. The great Sammy Davis Jr., which was a black man. Frank Sinatra said it was times when they were booked for shows and they went to certain bars in the Italian community, in the Caucasian community, and they said, yo, Frank, you and Jimmy could come in, but the nigga got to stay in the car. The nigga got to stay in the car. And Frank Sinatra and James Dean were some of the most adamant people in the world. They said, the guy y'all calling a nigga, that's our brother. So if he's a nigga and he's not welcome in here, we're niggas too. And we're not coming in there. So if you were raised in New York, I'm actually envious of the people that's being raised in New York and Brooklyn now, because y'all have so many extra additives that we did not have. Y'all had Uber. We had shopping carts. Remember that? Y'all can call an Uber, meet me at the grocery store, and the Uber driver is going to take all the bags out of the cart, out of the shopping cart, the grocery cart, and put all the bags in the back. All you got to do is go sit in the car now. When we was coming up, we had to pack them bags in them shopping carts. Remember that? You put the heavy food on the bottom. Remember that, y'all? Paper bags, you had to double the bags up, put them in the bottom. All the heavy stuff we put on the bottom, and then the light stuff we put on the top. This is all facts. This is all facts. So if you've seen a young lady that was 14 or 15 that was having a baby, let me tell you something. That was not unexpected. That was not, like he said, that was not abnormal. Because like I said, it was a different support system back in the days, y'all. It was a different support system. Some people, they had different ways of dealing with teen pregnancy. When I was coming up, if you was young, maybe if you was 14 or 15 and you had a child, some parents felt as though if you lived in New York, you was going down south till you had that baby. Y'all remember that? And then some people in the South said, you know, if you pregnant in the South, you going up north with your cousins and them until you have that baby. Because it wasn't about the whole fact of people saying it might be embarrassing. Certain things was taboo. And parents were so protective and overprotective of their children, they sent them away. Remember that? They would send them away. They would send them somewhere else, pay attention, where nobody knew them except the family member that they were sending them to. They sent them somewhere else because they didn't want their children to be judged or disrespected or categorized as being something other than themselves, because they may have made decisions or they may have been in situations where they had children at young ages. The whole dynamics of parents back in the days, it seemed like it's dying off. The parents today is the computers, the parents today is the cell phones, and the parents today is social media. That's why with that situation in Chicago, them children did what they did to that woman. Not all, a lot of parents aren't parents. A lot of parents aren't thinking about raising their kids. A lot of parents are thinking about partying. A lot of parents are thinking about getting the closest babysitter. And you know what's the most fucked up shit? You got to be careful who you allow to babysit your children. You got to be careful. Number one, I'm not leaving a child with nobody that's sitting up drinking alcohol all day. Thank you, Tanja. Appreciate you for that. I am not sending my child. I'm not going to send your child to nobody's home where their consumption of alcohol is going on. I'm not sending my child nowhere where they're going to be smoking no marijuana. I'm not sending my child nowhere where they're going to be sniffing cocaine. Most importantly, I'm not sending my child nowhere where there's domestic violence or toxicity in that household. Because this all creates curiosity. This all makes our children grow up faster than they are supposed to. It's a fact. Stay on top of your children, y'all. I'm telling you. And stop calling that homegirl or that cousin to babysit your child because you want some dick. Stop calling that homegirl or that homeboy or that cousin to babysit your child because you want some pussy. Because what you're trying to do is for yourself. It's not for the betterment of them. That's a selfish act. So what? You ain't seen him in a long time. So what? You ain't seen her in a long time. Your kids is your responsibility from the minute they're born to you leave this earth, because I think that is one of the most vicious curses that a parent can ever go through, y'all. That's burying their child. That's a kid. Parents are supposed to be buried by their children. That's life. That's not nothing to be upset about. That's not nothing to be angry about. Of course, we miss our mothers. We miss our fathers, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, etc., our aunts and all that. But the elders are supposed to be buried by us. There's one last thing that I want to talk about before I get out of here. There's one last thing that I want to talk about before I get out of here, and I want to know how y'all feel about that. But first, I want to tell y'all some quick information that nobody was talking about. I know y'all remember Fabulous and his ex-girlfriend, baby mother / longtime partner, Emily. Everybody know who that is right now? Everybody know about Emily and Fabulous. This young lady right here, this is Emily. This is the mother of his child. She has a daughter that she does not have, that Fabulous is not the father of, and she also has the mother of Fabulous's son. Actually, Fabulous raised her daughter, and he considers her as his daughter. Their child, their daughter, is actually the fiance of the Chicago drill rapper G Herbo. So I got a show later on that I'm going to do because Emily and Fabulous have been separated for a long time, but she has a new boyfriend right now, y'all. She got a new boyfriend right now by the name of Country James. Anybody in here familiar with Country James? Comedian from Atlanta. Got about 11 kids. And Country James said all of his children's mother, all of his kids' mothers, he said he pays their rent. He pays all their bills. And the reason why he does that is because he said they would never have no reason to be arguing amongst each other because everyone is treated fairly. So I'm indulging to that later on. And I'm also talk about this. Anybody remember who this is? Anybody know who this is? Dog Soldier might know who this is. A lot of people might not pay attention to who this is, but I'm going to tell you who this is. Anybody know who this is? Matter of fact, let me give you another picture. This is another picture right here of Louis Rankin. No, that was Chrissy. That was Chrissy, Tanja. That wasn't Fabulous. That was Chrissy that got her teeth knocked out. Jim Jones' ex-girlfriend. This right here is the Jamaican reggae singer, Louis Rankin. This right here is the infamous scene from the movie Shatters, when he ran up in the restaurant of Louis Rankin and his friends, and he was telling him that from now on, there was a new sheriff in town. And he was telling him he wanted a certain amount of payment from Louis Rankin and his crew. But the real story about Louis Rankin, I'm talking about Don Data, Don Gagan, first skin teeth, grin teeth. If you know anything about reggae music, this dude used to be on Schenectady and Sterling with us. He used to be on Schenectady and Sterling. Shout out to my nigga Barry, Eric Vaskel. If you know, you know. King of the notorious Gully Man crew. Rest in peace to Father Eaton from New Lots. If you know, you know. Rest up. Shout out to Radagon from Lincoln and Troy. These individuals were all around each other. This man, Louis Rankin, used to be on Schenectady Sterling smoking big crack spliffs. I'm not trying to disrespect him. I'm not. So let's get that straight. This one of them West Indians back. It's a lot of West Indian people that felt as though I have all the money in the world. I can do what I want to do. You understand what I'm saying to you? This nigga used to be on the last time I seen him on Schenectady and Sterling was 1991. I seen him perform. I seen a white Jamaican artist by the name of Dominique perform. I seen another artist by the name of Junior Demus and Shaka Demus perform. And I also seen Junior Cat, the brother of the great Super Cat, perform on Schenectady and Sterling. Babyface was the selector. Donnie Dredd was no longer playing music. He passed it over to Babyface. A lot of people call him Lionheart now. Babyface, the original selector. I'm talking about before Tony Mataran. It was Donnie Dredd, the big My fault, y'all. The life insurance had allegedly lapsed. The life insurance unfortunately lapsed, but there was a stipulation. The stipulation was he still can get paid if it was an accident, but he passed away early in the morning due to a car crash. And when they did the toxicology report on his body, unfortunately, they found drugs and they found alcohol, so that automatically made them deny his claim of life insurance. And his wife was so devastated, she started a GoFundMe. And unfortunately, the family members were so upset that she was trying to get extra help because she was going through something, because people fail to realize you ain't missed none of that. I was just talking about Louis Rankin and how, unfortunately, when he passed away one morning due to a car crash, because the toxicology report found out that he had drugs and alcohol in his system, they wouldn't pay out his life insurance. They would not pay out his life insurance. So rest in peace to the great Louis Rankin. Last thing I want to ask y'all. Do y'all hear what's going on with Big U? Did anybody hear what's going on with Big U? Yeah, they did him wrong. But this right here is a little more in the eyes of myself being wrong. Allegedly, since Big U has been incarcerated, he has denounced his leadership of the Rolling 60s, notorious Rolling 60 gang. Pay attention. His oldest son was unalived October the 31st. Big U is now converted into Islam. He's Muslim. So Muslim law is the father has the right to bury his oldest son, and he also has the right to bathe his oldest son. That's Muslim law. That's Islamic law. The feds just denied Big U. They just denied him the grant to go to his son's funeral. They just denied him any accessibility to the funeral. Annette said, yo, they should allow him to go to his son's funeral. The feds say they beg to differ. Now let's go over it for a minute. Big U is in jail right now, possibly facing the rest of his life in jail. Allegations of extortion, allegations of murder, allegations of spreaded violence throughout the whole world, not just California. They have recorded phone calls. They have recorded phone calls. They said that he was using other people's slots to try to elude the feds from hearing his conversations. So when he was using other people's phone slots, I'm not saying that he was extorting people out of their phone slots. People may have been allowing him to use the phone slots. He also is recorded telling everyone that speaks to him on the phone, when you call me, don't say assalamu alaikum. Don't say that. Don't say that to me. I do not want these authorities to know that you're talking and interacting with me. He has recently been recorded also on tape saying anybody that goes against him or his family or disrespects him in any manner won't get away with it, and they will be handled. You got to understand, he's arrested right now for racketeering. There's controversy pertaining to his son's best friend that they say allegedly did a rap song that disrespected Big U, and he was signed to Big U, and they found him at the beach dead. Are they wrong? Are they wrong? People fail to realize this ain't Martin Luther King. This ain't R. Kelly. This ain't R. Kelly. This ain't Gomer Pals. This ain't Mr. Rogers that's doing a bid. This is a notorious ex-gang member with ties and who has been recently recorded bragging about his power and how he can still have anybody unalived by a simple phone call. It's just like Puff, y'all. Puff is in jail and he's hoping to get an early release, but for some reason, he's in jail doing everything that criminals do. He's getting caught smoking cigarettes. He's getting caught with hooch, et cetera, et cetera. These aren't things or steps that anybody that would take if they really was trying to change their life. They wouldn't do it. This is not. Yo, go sit down. Yo. All right. Let me tell you again. Go sit down. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Come on. Good girl. Come on. Go. Go there. Come here. Good girl. Good girl. Come on. Good girl. Come on. Come on. Go. Come here. Up. Up. Sit. Good girl. Good girl. Stop. Stop. I'm sorry, y'all. Egypt hate cars and trucks. But should he be let go? Should he be allowed to attend his son's funeral? We're going to talk about that tonight. For real. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Y'all already know. If y'all want to contribute, make sure y'all join this live. Make sure y'all join this membership. Great content. Try to keep it official for all of y'all. And we're going to go back live later on tonight. So like Harlem Legend said, set your bell notification. We're going to end it out with Jaffe. New joint he just dropped called Slow Funk. Make sure y'all go subscribe to the Top Tiger page. Go.
DJ Lord C on the 1 and 2.
My fault, y'all. My fault, y'all. I played the wrong song. Appreciate everybody for pulling up. Let's go.
DJ Lord C on the 1 and 2.
Yeah. See, this that boss talk, you know what's down there. This that summertime with a beach chair, sweet dig. If younger my broomsticks, tell them sweet dig. Yeah. I told mama this is all, yeah. Lord said it ain't about money, nigga, we don't care. This that, know they gonna feel it once they hear it, nigga. This that, know it's too hot, don't you come near it, nigga. Yeah, you know that this, like, this that. Yeah, I'm trying to make you niggas rhyme again. That pure leaf dropped on the powder, wrapped up in packages. This is I let you hold something better, come back with it. It's funny the way they start but never managed to finish. Top Tigers, we ain't got no blemishes. So them dog and head came, we menaces, nigga. To society, I even had the bitch for sale. We had priorities. Damn, I never could say that word right. Like niggas taking something from me, he must don't like life, right? A couple thou for the read. I told my little niggas, don't you just be hustling for fees. For some of the stats, make sure you keep a band, that's the least. If I clutch it, you get plucked in the box like a game of Scully. Get you cut right there, they gon' band-aid them like Nelly. Stitch, 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 throw some dirt on them. Never liked you niggas anyway, I wish the worst for them. This that boss talk, you know what down there. This that summertime with a beach chair. Sweet there, give younger my broomsticks, tell them sweet there. Yeah. I told mama this is all yeah. Lord said it ain't about money, nigga. We don't care. This that know they gonna feel it once they hear it, nigga. This that know it's too hot, don't you come near it, nigga. You know that this like learn from my mother, not my pops. I was raised up different. I'm from the towers. I had sexy red in the trenches. I'm from that block. Got in the stash box. Got lawyers like Madlock. Fuck around and get your try and play, don't trust him like 3 called Molly, they found money. Like I'm sexy, but she can't be lazy like Peggy Bundy. Like I buy you shoes if you send me news. Coming up, getting money is something that niggas had to do. Went from 7 grams to bagging up 62s. Went from public buses to riding the 62s. Benzes, yeah, Cartier lenses. We clearly ain't seeing the same, got a different.
Another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me? It's knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Man, woman, and children. Sun, moon, and stars. Everything exists, has to coexist within. Like I said, another day alive, another day free. Why would I wake up trying to be somebody other than me?